You are locked into Mornings Unfiltered with myself, Mr. Exposed, Chams, and Mon. And we have a very, very special guest in the building. That last track we played there was not for the radio, and that was Tiny Temper and MNEK. And yes, we do have a very, very, very special guest in the building. I'm very excited to get him in. I'm going to let him introduce himself, because I can never, ever do anyone justice. I kind of feel like, you know what, if I do this, you know what I mean, I'm going to leave some shit out. Don't downplay, you know what I mean? No humble shit, you know what I mean? No humble shit. What do I say? No humble shit.
My name's Dumi Oburota. I'm the founder of Disturbing London. So those who know, I think we're going to get into what Disturbing London's about and a few other things I do. I look after a few artists, a few talents, and other things, amongst other things, yeah.
More than a fair thing. You know when he said this, you know, a few. You always say like a few artists, you know, nothing major. I'm like, you've got some of the biggest artists. That's you know what about, you know, yeah. I said it like, you know, it's got one song out at the moment.
Nah. Congratulations to you. I didn't even know you were Mr. Exposed. It's mad. I watched you yesterday and I was like, you know what, this guy, like, young brother, like, talking about a serious issue, and you come across really well. And seeing you today is crazy. That's like, life is just like that sometimes.
Thank
you know, I did see you tweet me, but then the picture, it's only when I saw you now. I was like, what's going on? Congratulations to you, man. I fully
appreciate that. Thank you, man. Congratulations. Thank you. You know what I mean?
And obviously, Cham, the lady herself. It's only her that can get me here this early anyway. So I'm here.
I accept. I'll put that in my pot.
I'm here. So yeah, guys, man, let's get into it.
So, Dumi, we were really excited about having you here. You know, I knew you weren't going to do yourself justice when you did the intro. Such a humble person. I remember first meeting you and like just vibing with you, and you've just maintained that level of humble despite your successes. And that's probably because I know that your sights are set so high that you probably can't even get excited at this stage yet. But for most people, you would be really excited if you were the co-founder of Disturbing London, which is one of the most amazing independent record labels, I think, that have come out of the UK, specifically out of our scene, and have pushed the boundaries, no doubt.
Thank you.
So one of your main artists that you look after is Tiny.
Tiny is, yes.
So Tiny Temper.
The foundation.
Is the foundation.
He was my main guy, my first. Like, he's like, that's a special guy, you know. Without T, there's no Dumi. So. And
without Dumi, no doubt there's no T also. Because
exactly,
you lot work formidably together.
You know, it takes two to tango. You know, that's a partnership. That's my brother, man.
And from really early on, I know that you guys are cousins, but I know that a lot of people, you know, they get involved in management, etc. At a late stage in people's careers.
Yeah, this is early, man. I've been looking after T since he was 16. Like, after he dropped Wifey, so after Wifey, that was his own like independent move. But everything up from there, like till now, till present day, it's me and him. Yeah,
it takes a lot of belief, because, you know, I guess when you invest in an artist, because I think for some people, when they do manage it, it's like, so I'm just gonna hang around, you know what I mean, collect a few checks here and there. But like when you do it properly, you know what I mean, there's a lot, you know what I mean, you invest time,
man,
you invest money, you see what I mean? So it's one of those ones where, was it when you kind of got into it, was it okay, this is my cousin, or you like, I can see?
Yeah, no, do you know what, like at the end of this Morning Unfiltered, you know, we're all from like London. I'm from South East London. I'm from, you could say, quote unquote, I've grown up around the ends or as they say, you know, streets. But so we all have different options, you know. We go uni, but we're still looking to try to make some money, hustling. And so, like, at the stage, I was obviously doing what every other, not really every other, but any guy that's coming from where we're from has got a bit of ambition or feels they've got ambition. You know, we do certain things to try to get out of there, or just try to, you know, impress a few people. So I was in that same predicament, studying plus doing that. And then I've always had a passion for music, to be quite honest with you. Like music, you know, UK street culture, from going to like garage raves, you know, dressing, you know, all of that. Always friends, DJing, pirate radio. And so always following that like hard. And then I was working as a youth worker. Okay. Because I used to like, you know, but I've always been I've always been like focused. Like I always need to have something stable in my life. Like amongst my friends, no matter what my guys are doing, I need to be the one that has something a bit regular, you know, because I can't be I don't like when people ask me questions and I'm not doing things, you know.
Yeah,
so
I know what
that's what I've always been on. So I was doing youth work. So by the time like all my friends were just hustling and probably just waking up, making money, not doing anything, I'll do the same thing, but then go to youth work in there. Like I'd work from like, I think about 6 o'clock till, I don't know, 10 when you close up. But the kids, I used to set them up every Friday and they used to like MC. Yeah. So these times they were into grime. But obviously my age group, like we're into like funky house these times. Like, I'm not listening to grime. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the real. So when I was looking at the kids, they were MCing proper barring, and it was like white kids, black kids. And I was like, you know what? This is a time when it felt like it all had come together. You know, because like, our generation was a bit more segregated. There's a bit more of a white and black thing, but the kids started gelling. So then I just really thought, you know what? There's something there. So I started listening to it, started following things, and just wanted to get into it because I just invested in my money into it, and obviously met T. And then it was just like, I just wanted to do something. I wanted to create something could just mean something, you know what I mean? I wanted to leave a legacy, you know. I wouldn't even say if it was a legacy then, because it wasn't a legacy. When you start, you want to build a legacy. At that time, I just wanted to have something value. So
you're like, some value, you don't want to do something. Yeah,
because like that's real. Like my sisters and that, they're all like, they got degrees, and my younger brother was in uni and I dropped out, and obviously I had a house and all that, but that, and I don't mean nothing.
It must have been very hard to explain that to
you know
African
what I mean?
parents.
You come out of your house, your next one, like, so what do you do? And I'm like,
stuff, innit?
You know what I mean? So I just wanted to mean something.
I definitely are. You know what? I can relate to that, because coming from an African home and stuff like that, you can have all sorts of stuff. But if it's one of those things where you can't explain to people, they don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I have a house, so what do you do?
Yeah.
I have a house, but what do you know what I mean? Your mum wants, you know what I mean? When her friends come around, my son does ABC, my son did this. But if you can't have that conversation, you see what I mean? For them, no one cares what you have.
I dropped out of uni. I dropped out of uni. So decided to just concentrate on hustling and, you know, making money and, you know, opportunity, just trying to invest in some things. And then I went back to uni because I was doing youth work at the time. I went back to uni to Goldsmiths University. I studied youth and community studies. Yeah. So by then I went to go meet my mum, and that's when I met Tiny's mum. And she's like, I said, hello, auntie. She's like, oh, so what do you do? I said, I'm at uni, but...
Make sure you drop that in there.
I'm at uni.
But I'm into management, and then that's when she was like, oh, my son MC. So, you know, that's how it works.
Yeah, when you say I'm at uni, you know what I mean? They want to listen more. You know
do you know what I mean? Or they say, Howard, are you still in college? Or are you still in secondary school? And I'm like, no, I'm 21.
Not doing that anymore. Yeah, for me, you know, explaining to your parents, because I dropped out of uni as well. So, you know, explaining to your parents that I'm not going, I didn't go back home for about a year. Bruh. You know, one of those was just going to travel.
I know your parents probably just realize you do something serious from the documentary.
Yeah,
you know,
when you come from an African household, they have to see.
They need to see it.
Something, you know, because until then it's like, so
he's mucking around.
You know, this is it with his friends. You know what I mean? On this internet, that's literally it. So you know what I mean?
He's useless.
And this is it. You know what I mean? That's a conversation. You know what I mean? So when are you gonna get a real job? You know what I mean? It's a conversation that I've had.
My
many
dad
times.
does it even now. So imagine this, I'm on my way to, my dad calls me randomly every morning, like, you know, I say, Dad, like 9 to 6, don't call me, like, I'm working, you know, but regardless, he doesn't care about it. Are you stupid? Anyway, calls me this morning, so I'm like, yeah, Dad, how you doing? He's like, yeah, good, just going through, so I'm just checking in, you know. I said, okay, Dad. I said, he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going radio. I said, so what are they going to answer? I said, well, probably about how I started. He said, the world knows that. Talk about a blow. Yeah, you know what I mean?
And you can't even say
it's
anything.
It's like a slap. I said, Dad, you know that. Maybe the world don't know that. And if the world did, so, you know, oh, don't worry, it's good.
That tough love.
They just slap you. You know, like when you see your parents say, you're looking fat. And you're like, no. Okay, I thought I've been going to the gym.
You know what they're like, raw. And African household, they're very straight to the point. You know, they don't sugarcoat all of that. You know, you put on a little weight. No, you look fat. You know, and you're like, raw. Like, I thought it was, you know.
But I think that those are the type of things that help you to stay grounded, because you can walk in with all this bravado, with all of this, whatever you've got going on. It's like,
and they will humble. You know, they'll bring. You know, like you are who you are out there. Back home, you know, you'll keep. You know, they don't in this house. You know what I mean? You are who you are.
That's the real.
And I think you do need that kind of grounding. You know what I mean? That kind of environment around you. And like I said, you know, being that you've worked on such, you know what I mean, big projects. You know what I mean? You have, I think, Tiny has 7, 8 number ones.
Yeah, T has 7. Obviously, T has 7 number ones. I've had 9.
There, you see?
No.
You know, something light. Something light. 7.
We've shared 7 together, you know. But obviously, I have to big up Jessie J with, you know, Bang Bang, and then Wizkid with One Dance. So I've had the pleasure of having 9 in about 10 years. So that's like, you know, it's great. I'm happy, man.
You know, something light, you know, light work.
That is something I wanted to get into, Dumi. Obviously, you know, when you have the success of someone like Tiny, it's like, I guess after every success, you're like, okay, can we match this? Can we? And then also when you're looking at new artists, you don't want to just have people just lying there on your roster, just like, you know, yeah, I'm on same label as Tiny.
Yeah, of course.
Does this mean anything?
Yeah.
So like, how much pressure is that on you and the team?
Yeah, all the time, man. It's like, obviously you've learned, because I've had a few acts that I was looking after at the same time as T, you know, or just at least 2 years after T, you know, All About She, Sasha Kibo. And when T got signed, probably in the next 2 years, Sasha got signed to Polydor, and All About She, I signed them to Atlantic. And well, you know, they had a fair bit of success. You know, Sasha was on Disclosure's album. We put out 2 EPs. I'm very proud of. And then obviously All About She had the top 20 hit with High, and obviously had the record on Calvin Harris's album, which I'm proud of too. You know, but really, do you know what I've really found in life is like, and obviously there is a saying, and like you can bring the horse to the lake, but you can't force the horse to drink the water, you know what I mean? Like, so at the end of the day, as I always say now, I've developed the team. It's obviously started with me and an assistant, and you know, but now I've got like 10 staff, a few other managers. It's just it's the same system, it's the same theory, it's the same machine, but it's what I put in it is how it's gonna work, you know. It's just like it's the same shit. But sorry, excuse my language, but you know, no. So sometimes I just feel, you know, sometimes it definitely does frustrate me. It's like having kids, you know, and like when you're away, you're thinking about your other kid. Like, what are they doing? But everybody can tell you, like anyone I work with, like they're like my family, like everything. It's like I don't take this lightly. When I'm looking after an artist, it's their life, you know. So.
Yeah, because it reflects on you as well.
Yeah, man, and I put a lot of work in, but sometimes, some things, you know, this world is about hard work, but it's about, like, there's God, energy, you know, it's about, some things happen, it's what you put in, it's what you get out, you know what I mean? Because I got, you know, like, T's in the studio every day, like every day, like, T works so hard, like, I keep up with him, you know, so you can't want it more than another artist, you know. Yep. And again, Wizkid the same, works 24/7. Like, so I've just realized, I'm thinking with maturity and just doing it for a long time, I know the type of acts that I need, or the type of people that I work well with, you know.
Yeah.
So now
that's definitely important.
Yeah, man, we just started to. I filtered a few things, and I'm just. I know what I do. I'm a slam dunker. I need to be alley-ooped, you know, like. If you alley-oop, I'm gonna slam dunk, and that's just where I'm at in my life now. I just know that I can execute, so I just need the fuel to execute, but I can only do so much, you know.
Yeah, I guess it's all about working together.
Yeah, man, it takes two to tango.
You do what you do, and I do what I do, but I can't do, you know what I mean, your job for you as well. Because I do find, from what I've seen around, some artists, you know, they come in and they think, okay, that's a big management team, or it's a big label, and they'll do all of the work for me, or just being there is enough to get me to the next level.
Sometimes people can't, like, do you know what, the biggest ones, the biggest and the most successful ones are the most humble and willing to take criticism. Like, I'm on to T 24/7, like, I can say any, like, and it's hard. And sometimes I even think, shit, like this has been like how many years of, you know, one man always said to you, it could be this, but it could be this, you know what I mean? Because we're always trying to sharpen each other's tools. Same thing for Wiz, you know what I mean? Like if I'm not, I can be honest with him. Some of the acts that I've had that haven't even had that much success, the hardest, they don't want to hear it. So I've just found it's like, what do you want from me? I'm really here to try to sharpen you and make you better. But if you're not willing for me to make you better, then I can't do what I need to do for you, you know what I mean? So that's what I've learned, and it's hard, but you learn.
So what about the call, Dumi? From the first day I clapped eyes on you, I just thought this is a cool guy. He's a really cool guy.
Saw him in GQ, you know what I mean? I remember, looking on GQ one time, and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? And you were up there with some big names. You know what I mean? Very well dressed, you know what I mean? He's very well dressed right now.
Yeah, but from early, like this is something like it before any of this, you know, what people see, before the GQ, he was doing GQ. And you've managed to transpire that in your acts.
Yes.
And I do believe that you have been instrumental in that, because it's like, or you're just finding acts that are like, okay, you're cool, I like you.
No, do you know what I think, you know, as they say, birds of a feather fly together, you know, flock together, you know, like at the end of the day, I think the way we dress is so much part of how we express our energy, especially in the creative industries. I definitely feel that I would, regardless if I was just working as a postman or whatever, I've always liked to dress. I was always into that, so I would look like this anyway, even if I wasn't doing what I'm doing. But it's just obviously, as it happens, you know, I'm doing what I'm doing, so people have taken more notice of that, you know. So I just think, like, X Factor, man. Some of the acts I do, I always do look for like a bit of X Factor. I definitely, I like a star, you know what I mean? Because you have to
star
be
quality.
You know, man. When you come in the room, people need to feel your energy. So that's something that's. Sometimes that's like 60% of everything, you know what I mean? People feeling your energy, but clothes and fashion and music, the way we express ourselves, and sometimes I just really feel, I've found that that's probably what people like in me. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you have to be honest, like maybe that's part of the reason why sometimes some acts do want me to look after them or do want to be part of my team, because they can probably maybe see that I can take them to that level, or at least I understand where they're trying to go, you know what I mean? So I'm here to just communicate our culture to the corporate industries, you know, so I feel like
you've done that very well.
I need to at least embody that to a certain degree, you know.
So how instrumental were you in WizKid's new look? Because that look is fucking cool.
See that's another thing, you know, like Wiz, as I said, Wiz, the acts I look after, they're stars within themselves, you know what I mean? So there's a development, there's a long time. I've been looking after Wiz for like 6 years. So I found like in Nigeria when he had his first record, Hollow at Your Boy, and Wiz has been a star anyway. It's just like T and Wiz for me have got almost like the same energy. Is that like they were stars, and you just as soon as you point them in the right direction of the sun, they're gonna grow into like crazy stars. You just need to point them into the right direction, and then it will organically just mature and grow. The more people they're around, the more they're exposed to, they're just destined to just turn into bigger stars. So Wiz, that look was, I was with him in New York. I come home, he sent me a picture. That's his look. It looks amazing, and I was just like, okay, let's go with it.
Run with
like
it.
The guy's a star, man. You can't mess with Wiz. That's a real star boy.
He has got a
Even
star
Tiny.
energy anyway.
He's even Tiny. If you look at, you know what I mean, how Tiny's been dressing and stuff like that, because that's something I've been paying attention to for quite a while. And Obi will tell you, because I used to laugh about it when Tiny started dressing, when he started wearing, you know what I mean, the trousers, you know what I mean, don't touch the ankles. It was funny for a lot of people. Like if you go on the socials from years back, you know what I mean, it was a running joke for a lot of people. You know what I mean, fast forward a couple of years, everyone dresses like that, with the loafers with no socks.
But loafers, no socks, man. If people know, like that's like 1994, like 96. Like,
but this is it.
Gucci's no socks. Come on, mate. Like everyone knows.
So when Tiny started running with
that,
for, you know what I mean, for most people it is what you know what I mean. A few years later, we're like, okay, we're gonna try that. But Tiny was doing that before it was, you know what I mean, in fashion again. Essentially, before people were just randomly doing it, so he was doing it himself in a sense. You see what I mean? So there's definitely been a very big influence from you know what I mean, your camp on how, I guess, you know what I mean, people from, you know what I mean, our scene dress nowadays, and that's undeniable.
I think sometimes a a lot of things, lots of people dress the way we, or let's say a niche amount of people dress the way we dress, or you could say, I say it's a South London maybe thing, to be honest with you.
No
I'm not
way.
gonna,
It is.
No way.
I'm sorry, you come from
Okay.
Northwest.
No way.
Wait,
No
Shams.
way.
Okay, I can't
Shams.
say anything.
No.
You
Shams
know
come
what?
from
I'm
Northwest.
not-
They
you know
wear
what?
grills. They still wear grills over there.
I've got some grills. I'm gonna wear some grills. But no, listen, no, this is the deal. Do you know what the problem? They do wear grills though.
Everyone in Northwest has grills.
And
Everyone.
they've been doing it from early.
Like, they just don't let that
no,
go.
but people, but that's the thing. Like London, different parts of London,
It's different, yeah.
have been expressing themselves in different ways. But to be honest with you, it's all forward, because you could say, yeah, the Northwest thing was a bit American at the time. You know, more.
It still is
American.
now.
Yeah, but
They still wear
it's
boot
now,
cuts.
Yeah, but it's now ready. No, but it's now. You know what I mean? Because like, look, now really, where if Nines, when he stands next to another rapper, he exudes that energy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you
And
can tell, like, this is
because
from-
he's
this is
been
where I'm
doing it
from.
from early. He can stand next to someone and he feels like he's a rapper. You know what I mean? That's probably like that's his energy. So I think it's all like, it's all falling into place now.
But you
know
know,
what I
swag
mean?
didn't come from South London. I can't.
No,
I agree with
no,
your
come
words.
on.
Shams.
Listen, Shams.
Shams,
No, you know
come
what?
on.
I'm not even gonna say it, because London, we've all got swag. Everybody in London is fully swaggy, and I don't wanna like South, North, West, South East, because I'm
You
just a
keep
Londoner.
politically correct,
But
not me.
to be honest with you, everyone knows anyway. Those who know, you know.
It's
They
definitely
know.
not North.
Shams,
But
have you got grills?
South
Shams, you
West.
can
South
give
West have always been doing it.
You can
from
give it to
early.
any other end, Shams, but it's not Northwest. I'll tell
be
you that.
honest with you.
You know what I mean? It's not your area. I'll tell you that.
But
for
everyone's
free.
gonna say the area looks good, yeah. But
Not there.
I just know when I was growing up,
The South guys, you know what I mean?
I think we've always
Maybe
been doing it.
Southwest.
Oh boy, man, I'm South. I'm a Southeast boy, like born and
Yeah,
bred. So
exception. Definitely an exception.
I don't know.
He had a lot of Southwest friends.
Yeah, it was definitely a.
Can't be from Lewisham because they still got the
No, I am from Lewisham, though, man. That's the thing.
Oh, you're not one of them Lewisham guys.
Ah, listen.
I went Lewisham the other day. I see you guys
No,
in
I
lot
think-
29.
But this is it.
Echo, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
bring
think-
that back.
I think now all
No,
the
it
kids,
never left.
you know, the kids now, I think the whole casual tracksuit thing, you can't really get too much. But, you know, for like that much, they're expressing themselves, but you know what I mean? It's not. When we were growing up, people were dressing a bit more. When you go out, it was about dressing up, you know, if you're wearing like a bit of iceberg, a bit of mosh, little gooch. Like now, I think everyone, you can just go out with a pair of 110s trackie and you're
you're
looking
covered.
nice, you know
But I
what
feel
mean?
like, yeah, we're getting our own style in the UK because at first we were very US influenced, you know what I mean, in the way we used to dress and stuff like that. So a very long time, you know, when things just don't go because it wasn't for us. But I feel like now you know what I mean, over the last couple of years, we found our own lane, you know what I mean, and as time is moving forward, it's becoming like when you see people you're like, he's from the UK. So
Yeah.
he's not dressed like, you know what I mean, he's from the US or, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never been on that. Like I'm a proper like London boy. Like I've just not been straights. One like workouts, classics.
No
classics,
triple XL t-shirts.
aviators. Like nah, it's just always been just clean, just more clean.
So now we're throwing around brand names. Like talking of brands, Dumi. Like, what does it take for a guy from Southeast London to go and walk up into, like, this is always my thing, to walk up into a label and to walk up into a brand and say, hey,
We
you
want
know,
this.
yeah, well, not just we want this, because
No, we want this. No, but I think this, you earned that. You know, you earned the right. Like I say, you know, with Dimi, and maybe he might agree or disagree, you earned the right to walk in and say, this is what we want. We've worked hard enough to say, you know what I mean, we want A, B, C, and D.
But if a fair exchange,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
so
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, this is what we have to offer you. In exchange, we'd like this. Like, how nerve-wracking was that, doing that initially?
To be honest with you, it's never. And this is just honestly like, I feel if you do things with confidence and you do things with truth, I think people feel that, you know. So I've always tried to stay true to myself. It's more about, like, we used to go into, because as I said, we've always liked fashion. Like Brian Gaffey, who designed my logo, me and Brian used to live together. Obviously, shout out to Brian Gaffey. He's done Dope Chef and, you know, like Tourist. He's been designing and just always been in the kind of, like, when he used to live with me, he's had clothes in Harvey Nichols and stuff like that. But I used to buy his stuff. How we met, I used to buy these 110s that he used to customize. So I used to get them, you know, when you're going to bloody Paper, when Paper was first, you know, like a Cirque, I'd want to get like a pair of trainers done, you know what I mean? So I've always been into fashion and always had a good knowledge of fashion, to be honest with you. I done my work experience in Dickens and Jones in Regent Street. I remember and then I was working in Gap just before I left secondary school in the summer. You know, like when we break up for GCSEs, I remember I was getting paid $5.50 and all my friends were like, no, you're not getting paid. I was like, yeah, I am, you know. So I was working in Gap. So
Is that the days when them anorak bags?
Yes, you know it. So I had all of those, and then plus them, and then I could get a pair of 110. So I was looking, you know, steezing. I was steezing. I'm not gonna lie, college times. That's why they knew me for that.
Source from early.
Yeah. So basically, when we started, you know, like when T come through, he had a bit of we definitely had a clear identity in terms of his image, what he was wearing. So when we did start, I remember our first kind of like meeting with Dolce, and I remember like when we went to go and meet them to get some suits, they just brought us out some wax and I was just like, I don't like none of this. And I think from there they just realized that we like, okay,
set the bar
he knows like what's going on, you know. And so I just used to have stylists with T, but you know, because my thing is there's loads of stylists that dress and they just look wacky, but that's not dressing, you know. Just at least know the foundations, and then you can go a bit mad with it, you know what I mean? So we just used to go shopping with them or pick things out, and then people start realizing, oh, these guys have got a clear view of where they're at. And I just feel when you do that, obviously the stylists know the designers, and the stylists would tell the designers, and then they will know, and then obviously you go photo shoots, and then T looks good, and then maybe obviously they may see me and be like, oh, I'm not getting taken pictures of, but they'll be like, oh, you look good, you know what I mean? So I just think that just kind of went around, and then so it was more like people start following you when they see, you know, in terms of brands, just to answer Sham's question, in terms of like the brands and negotiating deals with brands, lots of the brands that we work with have been they understand we've almost been like fans of their brand or being investing in what they're doing, and they've realized, okay, these guys are really about this, and then they're like, okay, how can we work together? And then we're like, okay, we want to do this. So it's not, you know, it's just like if I sit down and I talk to a reporter or a fan of like music, and they can break down what the music's about, I'm gonna be like, okay, cool, you overstand. Like it's more than that, you know what I mean? I can ask you more deeper questions, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it makes it a lot more accessible for you. Yeah. Like you're happy to, okay, well, I'm happy for you to interview my clients because I know that you understand. Yeah,
and to be honest with you, you know what's been important for me is that I want people to understand like street culture and where we're from. We have a deep understanding of a lot of things. You know, we spend 10,000 hours doing a lot. There's a lot of guys on the block that look like they dress amazing, you know what I mean? They've got a great sense of style and a great sense of quality and what they like, because then when they make money, they go to the shops, and you know what? I had some of my boys like are forward, even to this day. They've been forward, you know what I mean? And they can be on a fashion show, be in front row. They've been doing it, you know, and they understand it. So it's just when we get the opportunity, we are able to express ourselves and people to understand, you know. It happens in America because people in New York, they've been doing it, but they get closer to the designers, even the ASAP or whatever Jay-Z does, they've been doing it, you know what I mean? But we just don't get that many opportunities. So my whole thing is, anytime I have had the opportunity, I want to just prove to all the third parties that what we know and our knowledge is like serious, you know what I mean? So I want to be the next guy that comes through, you take him seriously, you know what I mean? So that's basically the whole ambition, is just to raise the bar and let people understand that we're very knowledgeable, you know, and our culture definitely gives us, we're ahead. They all of the street style, everything you see in bloody fashion walks, it starts from where we're from, you know what I mean? And what we see, it starts from the street. So just understand that. So be confident, man. As far as you can articulate yourself in the right way, be confident, man.
So for you, it's very important for, you know what I mean, when an artist is working with brands, that it be something they genuinely believe in.
Yeah, you know, because it's truth, you know. I feel the consumer's much more savvier than they were back in it, like from like earlier, you know, everything's so much more exposed. Mr. Exposed. Shout out. No. So in terms of, so I feel truth is important, you know. So if your thing is Sports Direct, then that's your thing, you know what I mean? If your thing is like proper couture, that's your thing. If your thing's like high street, that's your thing. But I feel people, they can feel the truth, you know. And then and you can evolve too. So it just has to be truthful. That's all. Yeah.
Oh, so know your brand. Know yourself as a brand. Yeah.
Yep.
And one thing that I have noticed, you know what I mean, about you, I guess, is you're not really at the front. You're not in videos with the artists, because you do see that with a lot of managers. You know, just like Suge Knight say, we're not in the video dancing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I've done a few.
You know what I mean?
Not really.
But you tend to stay in, you know what I mean, in the background more.
Yeah.
Is that, you know, a conscious decision, or is that just something that kind of just happened?
No, it's definitely, you know, sometimes it's a I think that's a positive and a negative in two ways, you know, like, because where we're from, you know, you just have a mentality of keeping low. And sometimes I say it's almost trauma. Like, I'll talk to you on a level, like, sometimes just, even sometimes if I walk out my house, I'm just like,
Yes, look around.
you know what I mean? And that's not life. You
But
know
it
what I
comes
mean?
from the environment
But
you
it
come
comes
from.
from the environment, you know what I mean? But so sometimes keeping behind the scenes because you don't want to let people know, know too much. But like now, I'm like, you know what? Because my thing is, you see, like, I want more people to understand that you can be something behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But if people don't see you, how do they know
that you're doing
that
stuff?
you're doing stuff? So it's a gift and a curse. It's like and to be honest with you, Diddy is one of my idols. I very respect Diddy, but to be honest with you, in England, okay, like now, if I come in here with my grills on, chains out, I got chains, I got grills, I can come and I go into a meeting. They're not going to take me serious.
It's different.
Or if I'm in a video, they're not going to take me serious. You know what I mean? So I just mean where now I've almost like, sometimes I want to, there's some ignorant records that I do want to dance in the video because I'm feeling the video. Like when some of G shit, I want to like, you know, sometimes, but then, you know, what's in your head and how what you really would do, because they'll always say, yeah, come, but then I'm like, no. So I'm a bit shy, but then sometimes, you know, when you just want to vibe out with your boys, actually you saw the video, you know, there's one time I have done it, but you know what I mean, but I don't do it too much because I feel that over here, England, we haven't developed enough yet to understand. People still won't. People need to take me seriously. You know what I mean? I'm a businessman, like, first and foremost. But I just know people we got fickle, a bit fickle over here. So I don't want someone to come and see me in the street and start talking rubbish to me. You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to just
perception is reality for certain people.
Yeah, perception is reality, but the reality is sometimes I do listen to some ignorant shit and I'm fucking with it. You know what I mean?
It's the truth,
and essentially sometimes I just want to keep to myself. But sometimes, like, so it'll be nice to sometimes be able to express yourself freely, but we're not there yet, you know? But
we're getting there.
Yeah, but I'm happy.
But I feel like, you know what it is? I genuinely feel like we are getting to a level where in a few years, because for me, you know what I mean, I would have never imagined, if you had asked me 5 years ago, that I could get into, you know what I mean, an important meeting and I get to sit in there in a tracksuit. You know, one of those ones, I would have never in my life thought I could sit there in a room full of white people and they take me seriously in a tracksuit. I would not lie. Like, the first time, you know, one of those ones, the first time I did it, you know, and for me, because I like to push boundaries, I was like, I just want to see what it would be like if I was to show up, you know. And for them, I think it was one of those ones like, bro, they're actually paying attention, you know what I mean? And they don't care what I'm wearing because what I'm saying makes sense. You see, when no one cares about how you look or whatever, you're like, I have come out here and I'm speaking to people on a level, and you know what I mean, they don't care how I look because what I'm saying makes sense.
I think at some levels though, that's because, you know, when you're entertaining the notion of diversity, you're like, okay, well, this one looks like a real one.
Yes.
And I do think that's what happens a lot of the time, you know, like, okay, well, you look authentic, you look like you've come in the tracksuit, we expected this, you've done it, so you know, if you come in a suit in that
show
particular
us your
knife, they might not they might not have thought that you was their target audience.
No, to be, and you know what, I was even saying that the other day, it's so funny, it's like, you know, like sometimes, but that's just all stereotype. You know what? Just do you, man. Because my thing is, sometimes you don't want to So you, in every environment, you have to sometimes you have to dress to the occasion. There's
100%.
rules in life, you know. So let's not try to rewrite
definitely.
the book. You know, like, so if the dressing requirement is to be formal in the way you want to be formal. You know what I mean? If it's casual, be casual, because sometimes it's not good to look like you do not understand how to fit in or understand how to adjust. The not fit in is adjust and adapt, you know. That's the best way. I just feel sometimes we should let people know we can adapt, but don't, just be true to yourself.
And also how you feel in yourself, because I always say to women when I do like my confidence sessions and stuff, like, wear nice underwear, or even if you're wearing like the dustiest tracksuit, wear nice underwear, because you know that you're wearing it and you'll feel a bit different. If you wear heels as a woman, you feel a bit different. You walk different. I walk like Mandem in trainers. I don't know why. I look at myself in like the reflection, like, what's that?
You know what I mean?
So it's just about how whatever can make you self-aggrandize. If you can feel bigger, then and feel like you're taking more room up, you usually.
But not in a bossy way though. Like, do it to be pure, in it. You can wear nice stuff, but not try to emulate yourself into another form of something else and pretend.
Yeah, well,
as long as you're true to yourself, I guess.
Yeah,
so
but sometimes
I like boastiness.
Yeah, but as you said, I definitely think in certain environments, you know, like if you need to evolve into something else because you need to, like, let's say you're going for an interview and you need to put on a certain, you know, you need to project a certain energy, and what you wear, or yes, as Sham said, if the underwears make you feel that, wear the underwear so you can feel. I
feel
like that.
There's a thin line sometimes. You know, some people go, it's like cut your cloth according to your size,
yes.
Isn't it? You can still be you wearing, let's say, H&M or whatever.
If that's
what you like, then live your truth, and that's what I like. I'm not gonna go and spend like all my money from today's salary to try. But you know, there's some people that do that, and it's like, no, don't do that. Just live your truth and be you.
You know, it's basics. It's like sometimes people think that they need to spend money to get like the best things. You can buy a nice pair of underwear from H&M, you know what I mean? That looks good for you. Like, but some people, there's no point buying one Calvin Klein and you're wearing that Calvin Klein for like a month. You know what I mean? You may as well buy a few Zara pieces or H&M, and then you got a few and you feel nice. You know, all the time. That's the problem. It's just as you said, cutting your coat accordingly and just being smart with your choices.
But I understand in style. Yeah, I understand that, because style is more important than, I guess, the spending of the money. So you've got to think about, okay, so you're going to a meeting with Dolce & Gabbana. Yeah, so you're going there to them. Okay, you are expected. Yeah, if you're saying to them, okay, we want to do a contra deal, or we want to work together, they're gonna look at you straight away and feel like, okay, how have you chosen? Yeah. What you're wearing today, because it's important. That's why some people get stylists for certain occasions, certain interviews, certain meetings. So okay, the least you can do, you might not be able to afford all these extra things, but at least wear something that's
as close to
on style, or something that's aspirational in terms of style. So it doesn't have to be a designer, but if you have a designer that's going to make them understand that you understand the luxury market, then that will probably help to sway them a little bit more also.
Of course, I agree.
Definitely. Very true. Disturbing London, disturbing Dubai, disturbing Ibiza. You know what I mean? How did that come about? Because that is, you know what I mean? Yeah. That is absolute genius.
Thank you. So disturbing London, obviously it was DL Records. Then I turned it to Disturbing London. And then as soon as I was like Disturbing London, I've always had the idea to be like disturbing everywhere. You know what I mean? So as soon as it was Disturbing London, so when we started traveling, you know, when T was on the road a few years ago, wherever we went, we're like Disturbing New York, and it started catching on. So I've always wanted to do like festivals and that. We've been having conversations about that for years. Really never really had the opportunity. And then, so it was just like we've been going to Ibiza from T's been out there probably about the last 5 years back to back, and one of the only ones really always there, you know. It's a major part of our summer, and I've been going there like before I started looking after T2. So I always just felt, you know, like going to live, I'm going to explain to you, going to live like I'm in Miami, or if I'm in New York or I'm in Vegas, you know, like hip hop, kind of like electronic, kind of bottle bougie vibes are there because they understand. It's like, I would say iPhone shuffle culture. It's almost there. That's what I call it. But when I'm in Ibiza, I listen to house. I can stay in Ibiza for a week and listen to house, some deep house, some easy. But loads of people don't listen to house. You know what I mean? And they're in their villas, or I walk past hotels, I can hear like girls or guys just listen to hip hop, drinking up, and they have to go to like bloody San Antonio, and that's like it's like being in Corfu or something. And that's just, I'm not going San Antonio. So I was just thinking, you know what? Let's bring like the Las Vegas kind of Miami vibe to Ibiza. So I did with my agent. Shout out to Obi, Seeker, Echo Locations. We took a flight off season, went to go and meet the guys, because T done at the closing for Ibiza, he done a Pete Tong party in Hard Rock, and we saw the venue. I was like, okay, this can work. He done it on the roof. I was like, okay, I like this venue. So we just always was thinking, let's do a pool party. Anyway, went over there, negotiated with them, said we want to do a pool party here. They thought it was a good idea. They're like, okay, cool, we'll give you like the whole season. We did it. Obviously the first pool party in Hard Rock shut down like crazy. It was madness. And then we really disturbed Ibiza. And so the next season they lost their license, and because people are doing reckless things, like people going into people's rooms, like having sex in other people's bedroom. It was just madness, like carnage. Yeah. So we lost it, and then I was like, fuck, what are we gonna do? Because it was so big, and I was like, we've started there. I can't take it to like Ocean Beach Club or somewhere else. It needs to stay in Playa de Bossa. And then we were able to, because it was so successful, they ended up giving us, I don't know how many, we done 6 in Ushuaia last year, right? And then it was successful. Then this year they've given us a full 16 weeks residency. So we got full 16 weeks every Friday, Ushuaia. It's gonna be crazy. We got EZ doing like some joint headline shows, so it's gonna be madness. So that's like, it's almost like wireless in Ibiza, you could say. That's what we're kind of like, that type of vibe.
Over a 16-week
but
period.
16 weeks. And to be honest with you, that's what I'll definitely you can give us a clap for that one, because that's, to be honest with you, for the culture. I'm proud of that, because for the culture, just for like, it's the best club in Ibiza. It's massive, you're in the like, Martin Garrix has residencies there, David Guetta. For a rapper to have, and a brand to have a residency every Friday,
it's such a
prominent place. It's massive. And then obviously from there, we're always in Dubai. So then I'm thinking, okay, we just have to go to places where people know we frequently go, and we've we're in the fabric of what they're doing. So then Dubai, we've been going there for years too. And we got a great relationship with White. White's the best club. I just try to do it with the best people. And so we do the Tuesday nights in Dubai. And that's been great. We've had Crepton Conan there. We've had Lethal B. We've had Doneo. We've had gigs. We had Westwood last week. It's like, so I'm just happy that, because as a record label, sometimes it's hard. You can't work with every act you want to work with. I can't sign everything, although I'd love to. I don't have the money to do that. And sometimes I think we're not there quite yet, where people may feel there's conflict because you got this person, you got that person. So at least with these events, I'm able to work and do some business with some other artists and people that I really am fans of, and I love what they're doing. So it's great. It's almost like, it's like a neutral ground,
Now Creb, because I did see a video not too long ago where Creb gave you guys a shout out, and he's like, Disturbing has done, amazing things for, for a lot of artists that aren't even on their roster.
Yeah, cool.
He made money for a lot of artists that they weren't seeing in other places. So it's great to know that it's, it's not one of those labels or one of those, we're like, it's just us.
Man.
We're gonna keep all of this for us.
When, like, from early, like, even when I grew up, like, when you can make money with your brothers or put money in your brother's pockets, like, that's the most beautiful thing ever, and people won't even understand like the detail. Some of these things, obviously, when you start a business, you're not making money straight away, so people are making money on some of these things before we are, you know what I mean? So, but I love that, like, to be honest with you, like, thank you for supporting it, thank you for believing, and this is I'm not going to exploit you for believing in what we're doing. You have value, and I will pay you for what you're doing, and just let's continue growing, man. That's like Krept and Conan, those are guys from early, you know, so the more the merrier, man. All the other people, we got loads of other people booked up for the summer. Shout out to Young Bane, we got Codger Funds, we got like loads, because we're doing Marbella every Saturday too, a 500 capacity. We've got Dubai, obviously Tuesday, that's going to finish in May, and then obviously Fridays in Ibiza.
The diary's jam-packed.
Yeah,
because you guys did Australia as well.
Yeah, we did Australia. T just came back from a tour in Australia, and then to come back from his European tour. So yeah, and then obviously Wiz is in LA. So I'm like rattling.
So Dumi, how exclusive? Because these parties, they look so lit. You see, like you see how you lot were hating on my Jamaica holiday, yeah? Jamaica. The litness levels look wild, but I feel like for a lot of people, they would really want to know, like, how exclusive is this? Like, who do you need to be to get in?
No, man, like really, first and foremost, like you just need to be there, and then when you're there, you can buy a ticket. So obviously, you know, where we do certain things, it is gonna certain places where you do things, certain people go to those places, you know. So depends if it's your vibe. If it's your vibe, you're more than welcome to come, you know. I'm not forcing. I just want people to, if it's your vibe.
Come out.
But it's definitely accessible. It's not snotty nose, but if you want to ball up and you want to turn up and you want to do that bougie thing, you can do it. If you really want to have a good time, like I be for works where you've got a massive VIP section and it's just tables, so you get all the sparkers. But then we've got an open section where people are just raving and they can just buy drinks at the bar.
Oh, do me. I do like the. I don't like VIP. I like to be able to go in there, but I don't like it. It's boring as fuck.
But our VIP's turn.
There you go. Turn up. He's like, don't. But do me, like, so do you play bashment in these things? Cause
yeah, we play everything.
So I can come and DJ there.
Yeah, walk out. I haven't heard. I don't know if you're mixing. I don't know yet.